You aren't exhausting yourself because you're weak. You're exhausted because you've spent years hiding half your soul just to keep the peace. Sigmund Freud spent his career convinced that human beings are fundamentally broken, machines driven by shameful desires, forever trapped by childhood wounds. He built an entire psychology around one belief, that your mind is a basement and your job is to keep the door locked. Carl Jung looked at the exact same pain and saw something Freud never had the courage to see. You're not sick, you're suppressed. That single disagreement ended their friendship. Freud wanted to repair the machine. Jung wanted to wake up the human being underneath it. Here's the question I want you to sit with for the next 12 minutes. What if the isolation you feel in a room full of people who love you isn't an accident? What if it's a mechanism, one so old, so quiet, that you've mistaken it for your personality? Let's find out where it started. Jung had a name for the mask you're wearing right now. He called it the persona. The polite smile, the calculated patience, the endless second chances you dress up as grace. Here's what nobody tells you about that mask. It doesn't protect you. It feeds the people using you. Your optimism becomes their shield. Your empathy excuses their disrespect. Your endless forgiveness quietly teaches them there's no cost to hurting you. Picture the one person in your life who's never once apologized. Not really. Not because they're incapable of it, because you've never made them. You keep telling yourself, they're just stressed, or they didn't mean it. But that sentence isn't compassion, it's negotiation. You're bargaining with reality to avoid an uncomfortable truth. They don't love you. They love how easy you are to manipulate. And here's the part that should actually unsettle you. Ask yourself something harder than who's been using me. Ask, who have I punished for growing? Think of someone who changed, got healthier, started saying no, stopped being available on command. Did some small, cold part of you resent them for it? That reaction isn't evil. Jung would say it's just as human as being used. It's the shadow, the part of you that would rather everyone stay small and stuck, because their stagnation makes your own feel less lonely. This is the part Freud never wanted to touch, because it doesn't just indict the people who hurt you, it indicts all of us. So when someone in your life goes cold the second you start healing, when your calm gets called arrogant and your boundaries get called cruel, understand what's actually happening. They aren't confused about you. They're protecting their own reflection. And somewhere, at some point, you've done the exact same thing to someone else. That's not a comfortable thought. It's not supposed to be. Comfortable thoughts don't change you. Here's where Jung splits completely from Freud. Freud offered you a life of endless excavation. Dig up the past, assign the blame, repeat forever. Jung offered something almost violent in its simplicity. Stop digging, integrate, and move. He called it individuation, and it starts with one brutal substitution. Stop asking, how do I make them see my worth? Start asking, why was I begging for breadcrumbs from someone who was blind to my presence? You don't need to hate them to leave them. Hatred is still a leash. The real exit is quieter than that. You start watching their behavior the way you'd watch weather. Not personal, not a referendum on you, just a pattern moving through the way storms do. Remember where we started? Hiding half your soul just to keep the peace? You don't have to hide it anymore. Not because the world got safer, because you stopped needing its approval to feel whole. You don't become cold, you become impossible to deceive.